Hello YouTube travelers. This morning on the Gentlemen of Fortune channel we'll be reviewing Singapore Airlines business class as presented in September 2020 from Singapore's Changi Airport to Incheon, South Korea. The flight today is on an Airbus A350 aircraft. After a short delay, first to enter the gate area, then to board the aircraft to allow segregation from the transit passengers, I was soon on board. Singapore Airlines has a comfortable and beautiful hard product on board their Airbus A350s. At the seat was a pillow, blanket, water bottle, as well as headphones and personal hygiene kit. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. For now, let's get settled into our seat. The business class had 11 passengers, most of whom were transiting from an earlier flight. Now let's take a look at the personal hygiene kit. It includes a mask, hand sanitizer, and disinfectant wipe. The noise-canceling headphones were of good quality and had a sticker indicating that they had been sanitized prior to use. The headphones plug into the outlet on the console adjacent to the seat controls. Singapore Airlines has removed the in-flight magazine as well as physical copies of the onboard duty-free catalog. There's no amenity kit on this 6-hour regional flight, but there is a card outlining amenities available on request, as well as a card with instructions on how to connect to the in-flight Wi-Fi. I'll have more information on those plans later. The traditional hot towel service upon boarding has unfortunately been eliminated. Additionally, no pre-departure beverage service was offered. We were scheduled for an 8 a.m. Singapore time departure, and with an efficient boarding process had no trouble pushing on time. As we take off, you'll be able to see the majority of Singapore Airlines passenger fleet and the Scoot Air fleet sitting grounded. Every time I come or go from Singapore, I can't help but be impressed by the sheer number of ships waiting to enter the port there. We took off to the south, then quickly turned northeast towards the Philippines, and eventually north towards the Korean Peninsula. Once we reached the cruising altitude, the flight attendant brought around a menu with the breakfast choices. I didn't think any of the choices sounded amazing on paper, but time and again Singapore Airlines has impressed me with how delicious the food is once it's delivered. They also offer a fine selection of teas, but I kept it simple with an English breakfast tea. Now let's take a look at onboard Wi-Fi access and plan options. As a business class passenger, I was entitled to 100 megabytes complimentary access. If you need additional access or you're not in business class, you can purchase additional plans. After some initially gloomy weather departing Singapore, the clouds parted and we were in for a beautiful flight. That called for some champagne, which was accompanied by prepackaged bags of cashews and almonds. To eliminate touch points, physical menus at the seat have been removed and instead replaced with an online version available through the in-flight entertainment system or your mobile device if connected to onboard Wi-Fi. I will note, however, that not all of the items listed here were available. It would have also been nice to have a lunch meal service since the flight didn't land until after 3 p.m. Of the things that were available, nothing tickled my fancy. I had to make do with these biscuits. The cabin crew was gracious and friendly, but I will say not as proactive as they have been in the past. There was one other service adjustment of note. One of the 2 lavatories in business class was closed perpetually for crew use only. Even with only 11 passengers in business class, this led to congestion. Overall, I would say that the flight was quite good. Singapore Airlines has done a decent job of balancing cost-cutting while maintaining a high standard of service. Until the next video, I wish you safe travels.